Town.com.
Back on Get Down to Business, and this week we've got the person who I turn to when I have questions about Google, when I have questions about websites, when I have questions about messaging. We've got the message therapist, Mr. Communicator himself, Jonathan Lehrer. Welcome to Get Down to Business.
Now, that is high praise from Mr. Networker.
Well, you know what? The commission check, I hope, will be in the mail. So, Jonathan, as I said, and I mean it, you're the guy who I turn to for everything messaging and communications. And we've talked about this in the past, but Google has a lot of really cool tools that are available that probably a lot of people just aren't taking advantage of. Can you run us through your favorites?
We like to call this Google Docs. That was the original name for it. It's now probably better known as Google Apps. When I think of Google Docs, I want to think it's some sort of a doctor who will come to my house and cure all of my ills. I wish they had Google Docs in that sense. And in a sense, it is curing my ills because as an entrepreneur myself and as a small business person and a consultant, I'm looking to keep my costs down in terms of buying software. I'm looking for great collaboration tools. And I'm looking for software that I can use on any computer without worrying about losing my files.
Oh, so first question I'm going to ask is this only for Google users, or can anybody with a Yahoo or SBC account use it as well?
You have to have a Google account in order to get the full value of it, which could be a Gmail address or it could be an account you set up with a non-Gmail address. But you definitely have to register with Google and get into their system. Now, you can share documents through Google Docs with people who don't have Gmail accounts or Google accounts, but to get the full benefit, you do need to have a Gmail account. Okay,
so Google Docs, you can share documents similar to Microsoft Word and Excel and PowerPoint and all sorts of things like that. What about some of the other tools that you use on a daily basis?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about collaboration because that's really the cool thing about Google Docs. So let's say you and I are working together maybe on an outline for next week's show, and we want to actually add to the document at the same time. Now, if we were sitting in the same room together, we could maybe look at each other's computer screen, maybe one person typing and the other person crowding around the screen. But with Google Docs, we could actually log into the same document at the same time on two different computers, and we could be typing at the same time. So
Is that how you and your wife communicate with each other?
Me and my wife and my kids and pretty much everybody I know. It's all via Google Docs.
Oh, no need to pick up the phone anymore.
That's right. No need to use my voice anymore. Exactly right. So I call this process live drafting, by the way, and you can do it if you're in the same room with the other person or if you're across the world. It's really amazing if you're trying to draft, for example, a mission statement for an organization. You know, in the old days, they'd type something up and pass it out at the meeting, and everybody gets their pencils out, and they're furiously scratching words out, and nobody can keep track of it. Well, with Google Docs connected to a projector, then you have what I call live drafting, and everybody can see on the screen what's going on and change the words as they need to and easily keep track of the message.
Very cool.
As far as Google Slides, you referred to that. That's the sort of comparison to Microsoft PowerPoint. The cool thing about Google Slides is you can upload a PowerPoint show to Google Slides, and then you can very easily embed that into a website. So, for example, I did a website not too long ago for a vascular surgeon who does many presentations to doctors all around the world, and his slides are now on Google Slides, and they're embedded into his website. And they don't take any space up on his web server, and they load immediately from Google Drive, so it's very cool.
So whenever you talk about storage in the cloud, everybody starts to get worried. Are you worried about your information being up there in the cloud in Google land?
Well, here's how I look at it. As far as I am concerned, Google is probably sending all of my information to the National Security Agency anyway. And I look at the NSA as, possibly a backup of all my information. If I lose my emails, maybe I could write the president a letter saying, could you get me my emails back from 2012? I may have lost a few.
You could probably go back further than that, and they'll probably have it. Wow, fantastic productivity tools. That's
right.
Great.
And Shalom, one of the real advantages of this, because it's in the cloud, is you can sit down at any computer using any browser and log into your account. So if I'm visiting your office and I forgot to bring my computer, but I need to catch up on some documents, I just log into my Gmail account if you have a spare computer, and I can start editing away, and it automatically syncs with any other devices, including my smartphone.
We're talking with Jonathan Lehrer, Mr. Communicator. Jonathan, do you carry around a USB thumb drive with you anymore?
I do not, because I've got all my Google Docs on my phone. I also have a Google Remote Desktop installed on my phone, so if I need to get into my computer at home, I can use my phone to go there and get all my files that are still on my computer. And by the way, I still use Microsoft Office, so I can get those files as well. So through a Google Remote Desktop, that's a pretty cool thing.
That's very cool. So, Jonathan, we're slowly running out of time. Got about a minute remaining. Jonathan, do you mind telling us why and how you've discovered the world of Google?
You know, I have no idea how I discovered the world of Google, but I look at a lot of tech information over the years, and things start appealing to me, and I go, wow, that's pretty cool. I want to give that a try. Google Docs has actually been around since about 2007.
It sure has.
Use it. A lot of people haven't used it yet. Shalom, I've got a little blog post I put up today in advance of your show at MrCommunicator.com that has some of the notes that we've just been discussing. So if people want to check out MrCommunicator.com, they can get some links to how to get started with Google Docs and learn a little bit more about that concept of live drafting that I mentioned.
Fantastic. What a cool tool. Some great advice. Check it out, MrCommunicator.com. Jonathan, you've been doing communications for a long time. I think I believe you've told me over 30 years. I don't know how that's possible, but you continue to innovate. You continue to amaze. Jonathan, we appreciate your time. We'll check back in with you, and I'm sure you've got a lot more to share with our listeners. Thanks for joining us on Get Down to Business. Be sure to get in touch with Jonathan Lehrer, Mr. Communicator, at MrCommunicator.com. After the break, we're going to be talking about how to pick that perfect career. That's right. There is a recipe. There is a science for it, and you won't want to miss it. After these quick announcements, I'm going to be sharing that with you. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship.
Hi.